What is wow? Wow is something that you can smell, you can taste, you can see, but most of all, it's something that you can really feel. My name is Kalle Ruuskanen, and over the next few minutes, I'm gonna tell you how to make money on wow. Wow to me is something that you want to share. You have a strong urge to share that experience with your friends, family members. Nowadays you could talk about selfie-ability. You just want to take a picture of yourself in that moment. It becomes a talk of a town. It leaves a memory mark. It creates a queue to your door. It's something which makes your staff members, your colleagues proud. That's about it. It's quite a simple thing. You notice when it happens. I was practically born in the back room of a restaurant 41 years ago. My family has owned a restaurant and a hotel for the whole of my life. So the good and the bad things of our dear hospitality business has been familiar for me for the whole of my life. I've been working in each and every department of a hotel and a restaurant, and for the past 15-20 years I've been involved in openings and turnaround cases of several different restaurants and hotels here in Finland and also abroad in mainly the Scandinavian countries. To me, wow consists of three main elements, which is the surroundings, the whole environment, the product itself, and then services, the people. So the actual wow element can be small things. It can be sounds, it can be lights, it can be smiles, it can be small surprises. What do you experience? And the feeling element is the most important. It can be actually a small bird singing in a toilet. It can be our staff members' suggestions. And if I go back and memorize what are the moments that I remember that are most wowable to me, I will always go back to the services and the people that are delivering them. Papa Giovanni is probably one of the best case examples of creating wow. It started as a small 80-seat Italian second store restaurant in the hidden corner of downtown Helsinki. We were practically told that don't go there. No one has been able to run a successful restaurant over there. Italian theme is not that sexy. They said also that that's a suicide attempt. Just about 2.5 years later, we had 1,500 customer seats, restaurant operations in 2 different stores, a cafe, auditorium, banqueting facilities, and the original Italian restaurant called Papa Giovanni. What took us from a suicide attempt into a most successful restaurant in downtown Helsinki ever? It had it all. It started with exceptional recruiting. The people that were chosen were one of a kind, unique people with a twinkle in their eye, capability of smiling consistently 24/7. The second thing was the interior. The interior was designed by the stage designer of National Theatre in Helsinki. The lights and the sounds were also designed. We had thunder and lightning, we had rain, and we had all sorts of different sounds circling around the whole restaurant. It was something which people came to see actually from all the different corners of the world at that time. It was something absolutely unique that you couldn't find from anywhere. And then the third element was food. And the uniqueness of food was the biggest lobsters that you could ever get. And by big, I mean huge. And we ended up naming those lobsters also. One of them became Mussolini, the other one was named Berlusconi. Papa Giovanni probably is the best case study of the phrase, your hunger for success needs to be greater than fear of failure. The restaurant was nominated many times in a row as the best restaurant in Helsinki. The cafe was the best cafe in Helsinki. Our wine list was rewarded as the best wine list in Finland. American Express noted us with the American Express Service Award. And most importantly, our staff was nominated as the best staff in town many years in a row. And this I want to highlight. Don't hire for skills, hire for attitude. That was the main factor. Second example of wow takes us to Helsinki Airport. We had a small wine bar in Terminal 2 that was making a sales of around 250,000 euros in a year, so extremely small. The bad thing was that the loss of the unit was another 250,000 a year. The previous managing director before me had made already a decision to close down the unit, which under these circumstances was exactly the right decision. But still, with my character, we decided to at least try. We suggested to the airport that let's not close down the unit. Let's come up with a story that's interesting enough to bring more customers to the unit. Selling wine at the airport sounds good, but just wine is always just wine. We wanted to create something unique. So a year later, we had a unit in the same location, with the same products and with the same staff members, selling more than 1 million in a year and making a 400,000 profit. So what happened between almost closed down unit, making 250,000 loss, and 1 million sales and 400,000 profit? We trained first of all our staff members, and we trained a lot. We trained the communication, the sales skills, and then we gave a good excuse to start to communicate with our guests. We bought the rarest wines in the world that you could ever imagine, wines that didn't exist. And we started selling them by centiliters in the wine country Finland. And even how ridiculous that might have sounded, that gave our staff members a reason to be proud of their unit, of themselves, and of their products. And all of a sudden, there was a bunch of travelers that flew through Helsinki just because of that one unit. For me, it's been always important to write a short story of the customer journey. That's called high impact review. Moving along the whole customer journey with your camera. Filming it, experiencing it, feeling it. You need to be able to come back with the experiences. You need to be able to memorize what you've experienced, and one picture tells many times more than 1,000 words. The second tool is Kaizen. It's a Japanese old philosophy of constant development, and it starts from the back door. And it's viewing the business with the eyes of the staff members. How easy or difficult it is to work within your premises, how easy or difficult it is to deliver each and every day the customer promises that you are having, and actually exceeding the expectations of your customers. Well, I can tell you what I've always done. I've always started with the why, the philosophy. Why do we exist? Why this restaurant has a reason to exist? Once you have that question solved, you can move to the next one, which is the attributes. What differentiates this place from any other place in the market? And that really needs to be something which is interesting, it's appealing, and it needs to be true. But don't move forward before you have that question answered. The differentiator question is probably one of the most important questions that you need to be able to answer, and it needs to be true. So make sure that you can define how you are different. Unless you can't, you aren't. From that attributes factor, you can move to the customer promise. What do you promise to your guests? This is hospitality business. That means that we are in the business of happifying. It's taking care of others. So you need to be able to promise something that you can deliver each and every time you meet your guests. Don't be exceptional every now and then, be exceptional every day. Then you position yourself in the market. Where do I stand in the market against others? Am I in a luxury market? Am I in an everyday business market? Or somewhere in between? Once the positioning is done, you can move the value. The pricing level and what do you promise with that price? And finally, the relevance. Is this relevant for anyone? So make sure that you don't fall in love to your own ideas and your products before there's a position for those products and services in the market. Okay, finally, let's summarize. Start with why. What's the philosophy? Then move onwards to your differentiators. How are you different? What makes you unique? Third, customer promise. What do you deliver each and every time that makes you unique? Fourth, what's your position in the market? Fifth, what's the value that you deliver? And finally, sixth, the relevance. And the next big wow is a story which is still untold. A restaurant that has all the elements of wow that I described to you earlier. It has a unique story. It has people who are capable of creating once-in-a-lifetime experiences. The best possible Nordic ingredients, food that you can't even imagine, from the origins of our gastronomy. Interior that you can't find from anywhere else. How do I know this? Well, each and every piece of furniture is handmade to this unit. The cutlery you can find only from this restaurant. I hope to see you in Finjävle.